Hi, my name's Tegan. I'm here with Jacob's Trading. If you haven't heard of us before, be sure to check out the description below for information on our website as well as our online store. Today we're going to be talking to you about wire gauge and what that's all about.
To begin with, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of where this system came from. So when you're looking at wire gauge, it's the actual physical thickness of the wire. So what this is describing in gauge size is the amount of times that a wire has been pulled through what's called a draw plate. So back in the day when wire was first created, they would create these usually out of wooden plates, and they would have varying sizes of holes. And the wire would be put through these holes and then pulled a number of times. And every time it pulls through, the wire would get smaller and smaller and smaller. So as the wire gets smaller, the number of times the wire is drawn through has gone up. So that's why gauge is kind of a funny thing in that as the gauge size gets smaller, the size of the wire is bigger. And as the gauge size is bigger, the wire size is much smaller. So for a 32 gauge wire, that means a wire would be, in their traditional terms, pulled through a draw plate 32 times in order to get this size of wire. Whereas a larger size, say wire that's only 4 millimeter size, that's quite thick, would only have to be done 6 times. So talking in terms of use in jewelry, there is kind of a sweet spot for most sizes that you're going to use. Between 18 to 24 are the main sizes that almost everybody uses. Myself personally, I usually use 20 and 22 gauge wires, and that's what I've shown you here in today's video. So I have 2 pieces of wire as 2 examples that I've done my own wire wrapping. For pendants, I usually use that 22 gauge wire, so a little bit smaller, as most pendants are a little bit, I like more dainty style, so I usually use a thinner wire. So that's what this one is done, and this black wire that I have here as an example is a 22 gauge wire. Then I have my ring that I made, and this is in a 20 gauge, so a little bit heavier wire. The reason I like to do rings in heavy wire is you put a lot more effort onto your hands, so you need a thicker wire in order to make that not squish the ring. Another common industry that you see that uses the term gauge is in earrings. So there's the smaller earring that I have here. This one is actually about a 14 gauge. And then I have this thicker one, which some people have used, like you can see, like where they stretch their ears. This one's actually closer to an 8 gauge wire. So that's what those sizes would refer to. So that's what we have today to cover on wire gauge. If you have a hard time remembering, like myself does sometimes, which way the wire goes because it's counterintuitive, just remember the thinner the wire means the more time it's been drawn through a plate, which means the number gets bigger. If you would like to have a little printout copy like this that I have here, we're going to have a link in the description as well if you wanted to download that and print it off for yourself.
Okay, that's all for today, guys. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see us what we're coming out with every week, be sure to hit subscribe. Otherwise, that's it for today. Cheers, guys. Have a great day. Bye.